Sir Pioli, wise within in crown, was cast away. His time run down. Who leads us next? The people cried, but when they heard they nearly died, the name was whispered, Lopetegui. But the crown replied with no Lopetegui. So onward stumbled Milan's quest. Lord Fonseca came at best. A chest.
All hail Lord Fonseca, please.
The market weak, the hopes were thin. A royal king, no winds to bring. The cooling scandal made them frown as soon Lord Fonseca's crown fell down. Conceição came and the swords were drawn. João Félix bought, the jokes went on. They robbed, Feyenoord yet lost the fight. To 8 they fell from such a hoard. Thus ends the tale of rise and fall of AC Milan's dreams and hopes. Now, brave viewer, lend me an ear. The full disgrace begins right here. Buongiorno, and welcome to this AC Milan season recap 2024-2025. I wanted to do this video before, but I don't know, maybe I was lazy or something. But I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now for you, obviously, and for me, for future me. How Alex? How are you? Are you enjoying the second star or the 8th temp? Are you enjoying that? Are you enjoying it? I hope so, because now times are not very good for AC Milan, and I'm kind of sad at the moment for how things went. But this is a quick recap of what happened. If you followed AC Milan, you will know pretty much everything about what I'm about to say, so you can skip the video if you want. But if you're just a random person that said, oh, I remember AC Milan being cool, what happened to AC Milan, then this is the most recent season for AC Milan. I hope you enjoyed the bard-like intro for you. That pretty much sums up pretty much everything, in my opinion. But hey, who am I to say so? Let's go. I hope this video is not going to be too long, but it's probably going to get long. So stay with me. Allora. We started from the sacking of Sir Pioli. Pioli was the coach of AC Milan. And there were a lot of Pioli out, okay, in the community or in AC Milan in general. I started making videos like after that, so I wasn't around for the Pioli out. But people were not happy with Pioli because the quality of AC Milan playing style was going down. We won a Scudetto, true, but the sequent years we didn't do that well. Even if we did reach the semifinals of the Champions League, we got smashed by Inter then. And the last year, when we finished second, if you watched the Serie A, you will know that AC Milan finishing second is not something to brag about. I think we went, like 20 points from Inter or something like that. There was no competition anymore in Serie A, and we're just like winning. But it felt like, it was over. The cycle of Pioli was over, and it was time to make the next step. So hire a coach that could bring us to glory like Maldini wanted. Maldini wasn't in AC Milan, by the way, at that point in time. And since our management is a visionary management, it chose to have a Pioli as the main manager doing everything. That did not work. Okay, so Pioli was sacked and went to Saudi Arabia. Now, sacking Pioli would mean, in my opinion, to get somebody better than Pioli, not somebody worse. The problem is that the management of AC Milan didn't want to spend money, because we don't want to spend money. It's like Scrooge McDuck, we do not spend the money we have. And they chose, the first name that came out was Lopetegui. Okay, Lopetegui, the first thing that happens after Lopetegui being the name for AC Milan's next coach was the hashtag Nopetegui from everybody. Okay, so there was something, and when the management saw that we didn't like Lopetegui, the actor surprised. What? Why? Why is it great? Why do you don't like Lopetegui? He doesn't earn much money, so it's AC Milan. So they went for Fonseca, our friend Fonseca, which if I remember correctly, it was a sad presentation because he wasn't there. They said like the coach is gonna be Fonseca. Move on, next question. So Fonseca is not a bad coach, okay? He's not a bad coach, and we wanted Conte, by the way. Everybody wanted Conte. Fonseca is the wrong coach for this AC Milan, was the wrong coach for this AC Milan for how things were, but he was a yes man, and he didn't earn much money. So that was the core thing for AC Milan's management, because there were rumors about Conte, and I think Conte was waiting for an offer from AC Milan to join AC Milan. But then Ibrahimovic said that we wanted a coach, not a manager, something like that. So they didn't want Conte because they wanted a coach. So they chose Fonseca. Great start. I think that did have an impact on the team itself, because the team, I don't think they were ecstatic about having Fonseca as a coach. They were expecting something better, because even if the glory of AC Milan is gone into the toilet, we are still AC Milan. So you do expect a certain level of quality, okay? So Fonseca, not the right coach for the team at the time. And we did the market late. We did the market very, very late, and we went discount with the market. So we got the Emerson Royal, the king. Everybody was saying, even Tottenham fans, they knew what Emerson Royal was, and it came as a surprise how they could choose a right back like that. Okay, everybody was surprised, but we said, hey, maybe he's a genius. Who knows? Well, spoiler alert, he's not, but okay, let's move on. So we get Fofana. Good purchase, Fofana. It took forever to get Fofana, obviously. And what we got? Abraham. Is that it? I'm forgetting something. Well, we sold Kalulu, Adli went away, and we got Pavlovic. I was forgetting Pavlovic. Okay, so we got these players. These players did not help AC Milan becoming a better team, especially when you have to work in such bad and chaotic atmosphere that AC Milan was at that time. And not that now it's that different, but I think now it's slightly better because we got at least Allegri and Tare, right? So the season begins. Fonseca did not have, in my opinion, enough time to train the team because it came too late. But we poor AC Milan fans wanted to be optimistic about AC Milan because it's a whole season ahead, so you never know, maybe Fonseca's a genius. Spoiler, it wasn't. So what happened? First match of the season was against Torino, and AC Milan tied Torino 2-2. It's only the beginning. You shouldn't be so negative, I was told. Next match was Parma-Milan. Parma won against Milan. It's just the beginning. You're too negative. You're too negative, they said. Third match, Lazio-Milan. We tied 2-2. You're too negative. You're absolutely too negative. Stop it. Stop being negative. That's what I was told at the time. And Lazio-Milan happened. What happened in Lazio-Milan? We saw the first crack crack on the team. It was the cooling break with Theo Hernandez and Rafa Leao that walked away from Fonseca's instruction when they were having this cooling break, and instead of going with the team, they walked away and they did the cooling break by themselves because they didn't need to be with the team. A lot of people dismissed that, like, yeah, they're tired, I don't know, they're young guys, I don't know, but that really shows you that the team is not united, and the team should always be united. Not like Manchester United, not that kind of united, but in a different way. You could see that inside of the locker room, things were not going that well, okay? And the atmosphere from the supporters wasn't good, even if there weren't many protests around, it was very negative. And rightfully so, I have to say, because cazzo, as a supporter, come on, as a supporter, I can't stand the toxic positivism, just being positive at all costs, always. This is something that I cannot do, even if I think it will give me a better time, I guess. But I don't know. If I feel, this is a channel from a supporter, so if I feel down, that's what you get. That's what you get anyway. So we move on. We go into the Champions League. Champions League didn't go that bad, actually. Our run in the Champions League, apart from the ending of it, it was solid, that we could have been qualified to go against Inter and probably beat Inter, because AC Milan didn't lose to Inter this year. That's one of the highlights. If the only highlights of the season is that we didn't lose to Inter ever. So we go on with the matches. The matches don't go well. We win like the shitty matches, like Milan Venezia, Milan Lecce. So these kind of matches we do win, but then we lose against Fiorentina. We lose against Napoli. So all of this happens, and the results are not great. Apart from like the top match, I think it was the one versus Real Madrid, where we won, and then Musa was amazing in that match. Okay, so Musa and Emerson Royal. I think Musa was amazing because he had to cover for Emerson Royal. That's my explanation for it. So what happened then in December? We tied against Roma, and that was the last straw for Fonseca. And Fonseca, after that, was fired. I think, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but there was like a clause that if Fonseca were to go on like another match day, they would have to renew his contract, something like that. So they fired him right in time to not have to pay something. It was something that, sorry if I don't remember everything, but this is not a professional video, as you can see. And so Fonseca out, Conceição in. What do we think of Conceição? At the time it was like, yeah, sure, like the season was already compromised, like changing the coach then is like, what is the point? It's not going to change much. That was what we were thinking. And in the end, it was the right thing, because like Conceição couldn't do pretty much anything, but he did win a few days after being hired. He did win the Supercoppa Italiana, beating Juventus and Inter. Remember that when AC Milan beats Inter in anything, the trophy is worth more. So we were happy, first trophy in a kind of a bad season. We weren't fighting for the Serie A, so the only hope we had realistic hope was the Supercoppa and the Coppa Italia, because Champions League. We don't have the means to fight in the Champions League. So Conceição smoked a cigar, and that went kind of viral. Okay, that went viral. And now we move on with the Champions League. Oh, mamma mia, the Champions League happened. And we also did a little bit of a market there. We actually got a few players. We got João Félix, and I have to say that I was happy that we got João Félix, because he was like a nice technical player, and I was hoping for him to be what he could be. in with AC Milan. We got Sotil, Bond, a bunch of players that we never really saw afterwards, and we got Jimenez, Santi Jimenez. So by then we were kicked out from the top 8 of the Champions League, but we went into the knockout playoff versus Feyenoord. Okay, AC Milan bought Santi Jimenez from Feyenoord. They bought their best striker from Feyenoord. And we lost to Feyenoord in the Champions League. How comedic, how stupid is that? Like, you buy the best player of that team and they still win, and then they go on and they get smashed. That was a bad one. That was a really bad moment for AC Milan. Like, the whole season was really bad. And we got a little bit depressed there, and we said, okay, let's try to win the Coppa Italia. So the Coppa Italia, we did good because we did defeat Inter into the semifinals, because Inter was trying to win everything, the treble, as they say, and ended up winning nothing in the end. They maybe should have dropped the Coppa Italia a little bit before, should have focused more on the Serie A. I don't know, because the Champions League final for Inter was embarrassing. So we did beat Inter and went on into the finals against Bologna. Now, Bologna, theoretically speaking, Milan is better than Bologna. But in finals, you never know, and the motivation maybe were higher, I don't know, but we ended up losing the Coppa Italia, which was the... retrospectively speaking, I think it was a good thing, because if we won the Coppa Italia, I am sure that the management would have said, oh, this season is positive. This season is positive. We would have gone into the Europa League, but maybe it's a good thing that didn't happen, so we got like more changes. You know, sometimes bad things can help you grow. I hope so, but I don't know. So we did end up getting Allegri and Tare, but the budget for the market is always the same. It's 20 millions, so whatever. So we lost that and went on with our shitty seasons. We tried to be in the race for a Champions League spot, but we were too far away, and we didn't even qualify for the Europa League, and not even for the Conference League, which I think is a positive, because as much as I would love AC Milan to go against Beersheva and those kind of clubs, next season what I would expect is to fight for the Scudetto, because we have nothing else to do. We have Serie A and Coppa Italia. It's going to be a sad season and not many matches to watch for us AC Milan fans. So we need to be... you know what we need to be. So the season ends with AC Milan getting into the 8th place. We were 9th for a while, but then we ended up 8th. Amazing. Conceição got fired, and AC Milan supporters protest against AC Milan with a massive "Go Home" tifo aimed at the owners, Redbird and Elliott, not only Redbird, but all of this fund, because AC Milan is owned by a fund that just sees AC Milan as an investment to then sell. Now, Elliott, I think he got upset because not going into the Champions League, it's a massive loss of money. And now we're getting into this new season, and we got a different coach. We got Allegri, which I still think is a good choice until we will see what he does. But for the kind of coaches that were available, aka nobody, I think is a good choice. If we didn't get Allegri, I think Allegri would have gone to Inter. That's what I think, at least. And thus ends the season of AC Milan. It was a horrible season, one of the worst I can remember in recent times. Depressing from beginning to end. The Supercoppa Italiana is not enough, obviously. The supporters are not happy. I think they're still protesting here and there in Milano, but I don't know much about that very much. Seems like the management might have learned a lesson, because they did hire the sporting director. We did not have a sporting director until this year, which is stupid. But so we got Tare and Allegri, and we're still in the market, so it's early to judge this market. We will see how that will go, and that's it. I'm sorry if this recap was a little bit random and based on my emotions more than one of those beautiful recaps with a lot of pictures and spoken with a beautiful voice that explains you perfectly what happened and what didn't happen. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm happy to put this season at my back, just throw away this season, and let's start a new one. Let's see what AC Milan will do, okay? You take care, you take good care of yourself. This video was too long, but that's what it is. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're still here, please leave a like for the algorithm. Thank you very much.